Well, hello, everybody. Hello on my personal Facebook page, on our Real Women public page, as well as our Real Women YouTube page. Welcome to our Real Women live chat that we host every Thursday night that we have a guest. I am excited about tonight, just as I am any other night. And I'm giving you during these opening moments an opportunity to share with someone and let them know that we are on. We really want this to be an interactive conversation. We want to ask you questions. We want you to ask us questions. So this is your opportunity to share. And please say hello. Let us know that you're here. Connect with us in the comments so that we can communicate with you back and forth. My name is Trenace Richardson, and I am the founder of Real Women Rock, because we do. And we exist to create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. We do that through sister circles. And pre-COVID, we had the pleasure of meeting in person with sister circles throughout the country and abroad. We had established on a monthly basis several sister circles within the DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia, and Hampton Roads, Virginia area that would literally meet every month. And then we would take Real Women on the road and travel to different states and even other countries. We plan on continuing to do that as the world slowly opens up. We will begin to open up with it. But until then, we have made available to everyone online sister circles free of charge. And this is major because typically we are renting out space, and we ask that you, after your first time as a first time guest, that you pay a fee to attend, or you become an all access member of our community. And so during this season of COVID, we have been providing these magnificent, transformative sister circles free of charge once a month. And we hope that you'll come and be a part of the circle. We meet every month, and it's a different date. So what we do is we post the date in advance. We just held our last March one a couple of Saturdays ago, and it was absolutely amazing. We talked about not losing you in a relationship. It was tears and laughter and all of those things. And then this coming month, the month of April, we're going to really connect with each other about the power of our stories. And so April 24th is the Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can find out all of the information on any of our social media, Real Women Rock, or at our website, realwomenrock.org. Again, realwomenrock.org. We are an official 501c3. We support women globally, and we want to support you. So go to realwomenrock.org so that we can help support you. All right. Tonight, I have the opportunity. We don't spend a whole lot of time. We give you a sneak peek into a real conversation with real women. And I am elated to bring to you Miss Melissa Jakes. And I'm about to go ahead and let her come on the platform now. Oh, she's cute. Look at her. I like it, girl. I like it. I just want the folks to know that I have had, before I knew you personally, I was in spaces that you curated, that you created, because of your expertise in event planning. I have walked in spaces and been like, oh, and then come to find out you in the back in your scrubs making it all happen. So I am just elated because you are an elite event planner, which means you plan for influencers. And we may want to turn it down just a little bit on our end if you have a separate device. But you plan for elite influencers, and you show others how to do it more effectively. You're a speaker. You are a motivational person because you are helping folks build businesses, not just by the work that you do, but you're pouring into moms. as a mompreneur as well.
Yeah.
And so it is a pleasure to have you on this platform. Please say hello to the folks and add anything about yourself that you'd like to do.
Hey, ladies. I'm super excited to be here. I always love coming on. I'm usually the person doing the interviewing or doing behind the scenes. So I love when I'm able to just come back and be like, hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yes, we
I like you said, I have an event company, Rescue Event Planning, and we've been going now for 6 years.
Wow.
And the journey has been amazing. I wouldn't change it. I would not change any moment of it. And as you know, especially for the women out there who have businesses, you know, the hard work, and either you're working a 9 to 5 and trying to build the business at the same time. So we truly have been blessed to where we have reached now, and being able to be a 6-figured company, reaching for 7. Yes.
Let's slow down and celebrate that.
I know. Yay. So we're definitely blessed in that.
Yeah, it is inspiring. It is amazingly inspiring to know that you have built something literally from an idea to making it happen and bringing it to fruition in the world. And I'm godly proud of you. I highly respect your work, because I've been able, as I said, to come in spaces and see what you do. But I know that you do so much in addition to that. And so that's why we wanted to have this conversation, you all, because our topic for tonight is it possible to have it all? And I just, with all of the things we could talk about, I'm going to ask you at the end to share where they can get some pouring in about being a mompreneur and all that stuff, all of the content that you normally share. But I just wanted to connect with you as a real woman, and with all of your experience and expertise, if you wouldn't mind sharing your personal story, maybe behind the work that you do, and what led you to be able to help support influencers and mompreneurs. What's your personal story?
Yeah, so I have my master's in social work. So I got my bachelor's from Morgan State University, my master's from Howard. And, as most people in society, like, yep, go get your degree. My parents are Jamaican. So, they come here. We come here for degrees, okay? Right. They don't know nothing else. You come here, you get a degree, okay? Right. So they made sure that both of us got degrees. But then, it's more than just the title. And so I started having this thought of like, this is it. No one tells you after you graduate. So I just go to work every day and that's it, So I started helping when I did my own wedding, but I also started helping other women like, hey, can you help me plan my event? Sure, why not? And my husband actually is the one who pushed me to say, why don't you start? People are asking you, clearly you have something there. Why don't you start? And my silly self, we always find some weird excuse. Right. I said, well, I don't want to have to tell a bride that her color scheme is ugly. They're going to fire me. Like, that's it. That's the reason why you don't want to start your business.
That's funny. We will make up anything, won't we?
Anything. You'd be like, well, because it's right in the corner, it's always something that we come up with, right? So what I said is, okay, I'm going to pay for my LLC and I'm going to give myself a year. And if nothing happens, then that was a great journey. And I guess I do this thing where they tell us career life and whatever.
Right.
And so I started off doing free events. I did 3 free events. I offered it up. And of course, you tell someone you're a planner for free. They're going to take it. Right? So I had to shut down. I'm only doing 3. I need to build my portfolio because I realized when people say, well, can I see your work? Yeah. I don't have any work. I'm starting out. So I did that to build my portfolio. And then the second year, we got 16 booking paid events. Wow.
Now let's just say, let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
You did offer your services to build your experience, to build your portfolio. but then you made the transition. And I think some of us don't make the transition soon enough or ever.
Mm-hmm.
We just do it either, some of us, we love the Lord, and so we do it for the service of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
or we do it in service of other people and we don't value ourselves. So I love that you say in your second year you transition and they were paid. Thank you for that.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no problem. And
Mm-hmm.
so second year we did 16 events.
Mm-hmm.
Third year we went up to 20,
Mm-hmm.
25.
Wow.
Um, and then fourth year going before COVID, we were doing about averaging 30 to 40 events a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2018, I was able to do the biggest jump ever,
Mm.
leaving the 9 to 5 world into entrepreneurship. And you go through all of these thoughts.
Yeah.
I had at the time, Gabby might have been about 3 or 4,
Mm.
and so she's in Montessori school. We
Mm-hmm.
have a mortgage. We have
Yeah.
car notes. What are you
Mm-hmm.
thinking?
Right.
Leaving a decent paying job, not a good paying job, but a
Yeah.
decent paying job
Mm-hmm.
to do this thing called a business,
Right.
So you go through all of that. Like, am I about to make the biggest mistake of my life? Are we about to be homeless? I'm going to foreclose on my home. You start going through all of the negative things. But
Yep.
what about the positive things? Like, what could actually come really good about it,
That's
right?
so good. Yep.
So I did it. I jumped, and
Mm-hmm.
I did have a plan though. I just didn't say like, okay, now I'm
Yeah.
open. I made sure I had connections and I networked so I can get a smaller contract that still dealt with social work, but it
Mm-hmm.
was a time where I was able to be flexible in my hours, so I can
Mm-hmm.
have that time to still build the business while at least my necessities are met for
Yeah.
financially for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is just so good that I just wanted to pause and note that you jumped, but you had a plan. Like you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So there's
Mhm.
a nice balance there that some people feel like you just have to jump. Some people feel like you have to over plan and never execute,
Yeah.
but you had a plan and then you executed. I love that.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I wanna go back because I need to mention something because
Mm-hmm.
for some reason I feel like it might just help someone because I
Yeah.
know someone who recently went through it.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, Melissa, you're so brave. Like you have a go-getter spirit. And so there's something that happened to my husband and I.
Yeah.
Maybe like a year and a half as we were in our marriage. And
Yeah.
so we got pregnant
Yeah.
very, I would say early because we weren't planning on it.
Mm-hmm.
But we got pregnant and we were like, okay, new thing to do, right?
Right.
And so you start planning your future, you start thinking through
Yeah.
it, but did not know that, about 4 or 5 months in that my water broke early.
Wow, Melissa.
And so it's our first child. And so we're,
Wow.
excited. And for both of our sides, we're the babies. So the
Mm-hmm.
babies are having babies.
Yeah.
And not knowing like what's going on, what did I do? And especially as women, we do a lot of shaming on
Mm.
ourselves. So, come to terms, we had to do a DNC, and the baby didn't
Mhm.
pass away. His heartbeat was strong. It's just
Mm.
that you can't get it once the amniotic fluid is gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
You can't rebuild it once your water breaks, and that's pretty much it. And
Yeah.
we weren't enough to like the 24-week term to be
Wow.
able to say like, let's give the baby a chance. So that
Yeah.
was hard, right?
Yeah.
And then we got pregnant again with our daughter.
Wow.
And so the worry, the fear, what if,
Yeah.
don't even move. There's times where I'm just like, I don't want to get out of bed. I'm scared to get out of bed because
Mm.
what happened if it happens again?
Yeah.
So of course, then, after your first time, you can't be considered high risk until you actually lose a baby to be considered high risk in this
Mm.
situation.
Mm.
So we got pregnant again, had to go to the doctor every 2 weeks.
Wow.
That's financial. We
Yeah.
weren't at a good place that we were with our son,
Mm-hmm.
but for a young couple trying to figure out and just trying to get a baby here,
Yeah.
that was a financial stress.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 20 weeks in, my cervix started to open up again.
My goodness.
But we caught it. So the grace is that, yes, we were under good care to catch it. But then I started freaking out again. Like, here we go again.
Right.
I've never broken a bone. I never had any major surgery. I've never been to a bad car accident. So I'm like, yeah, I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And you never know until you're in that situation you're trying.
Yeah.
So I was able to get emergency surgery to sew up my cervix and then be on modified bed rest. So here comes, at that time, I was a caseworker. So caseworkers are in the field. You're in people's homes, you up and down. And my doctor's like, yeah, you're on bed rest. And I'm like, yeah, well, I won't be seeing you because how are you about to get paid?
Yeah.
I got to keep my job.
Yeah.
So that drive of, I figured out a way, and that talked about a plan when you said, I said, you know what? I'm going to present a plan to my job. This is what I can do. It can work. I need you to prove my plan.
Wow.
And they did.
Wow.
And they did. And so I was able to do modified bed rest, do a couple of hours in the field, do the rest of it at home and doing all my notes and all that stuff. And we got Gabby here. By the grace of God, we did.
Woo! Let me tell you how much of a blessing it is that you said that, because it segues, so perfectly into our topic, because in just sharing your story, it wasn't all a bed of roses. Like, you didn't just decide, I want to do this full time. My husband's supportive. I'm just going to jump out and do it. No plan, no hardship, no bumps in the road. Like, literally, there were days you were afraid to get out of bed while you were working your 9 to 5 and then transitioning into this full-time work that you began doing. And I think we have to realize that nothing worth it comes easy.
Yeah.
Something that I love to say, and you all, the question on the floor for you all is, what do you think? Is it possible to have it all? And I'm about to ask you that, Melissa. But I think what you example is that there's going to be work either way. It's going to be hard work, either because you are working on yourself, you're doing the grind and the hustle, or the focus and the consistency that it takes to move forward in whatever you are dreaming and planning about, or you're going to feel the regret and the resentment and the all of the conviction that comes with not pursuing the work that you desire to do. And so, because it's hard work either way, I would personally rather pursue my labor of love. And so, so I thank you for doing that and exempling that, sharing that with us. So you all, the question is it possible to have it all? And I'm going to ask you, Melissa, because you just shared, you are married to a man who was like, you're doing this, you're planning events for folks and they love it. Why don't you pursue it full time? And you had, some bumps in the road that I'm so glad you shared, but you ended up with a beautiful Gabby, and you're a mom now. And then as a result, you have this business, this 6-figure business that is, growing and blossoming 6 years in. Is it possible to have it all? What are your thoughts about that? Let's just go to it.
I think it is in reason. And so I never say throw any idea out or anything that you want to do out. I think what you can do is time it out. You can have the children, you can have the business, you can have, the nonprofit, whatever you want, but it may not all, it definitely happening all at one time is overwhelming, but definitely time it out. Because that can really, help and reach your goals. Because as women, we're always kind of on the hustle and go. And what's the next thing? So that's just like your strategic plan in your business, in life. What do you want to do? Let's time it out.
I love that, because you brought up, I'm going to bring up another word, but they work in such harmony together. Because you said time it out. And to me, what that says is there is a season for everything. And so I I typically don't use the word balance. I use it
Yeah.
sometimes related to yoga. But other than that, I typically don't use the word balance because we almost think, one thing on one side has to be the same thing on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Equal amount of attention to everything that's happening in my life. And ma'am, sir, that does not happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't do it that way.
Yeah.
We focus in on the season
Mm-hmm.
and the timing, like you said, on what needs it most at the time. And so there have been times and seasons in my life where I just had to focus on my child,
Mm-hmm.
my children, I just had to focus on the schooling. And other things were still happening. It was just, if you looked at the breakdown of my time and the breakdown of my day or my week, it looked like a whole lot of time and attention was going to my children.
Yeah.
Other times, me and my husband might have been going through, we need some extra attention time, or we will have no time at all.
Right.
So we need some extra time. And then there are times when everything is steady and good over there, so I can spend some time with work and prioritize late nights or early mornings, long hours, focus on my work. So is that kind of jiving with what you were saying about time?
Absolutely. I love that you said season, because it is, when we think of, man, she's killing it, she's doing it, that's that person's season, and your season will come too in its own time.
Ooh,
you may not be mentally ready for that. And so you have to make sure that you're ready to receive the blessings that God wants to bestow on you.
That is good. So I just heard you say, which was juicy to me, because sometimes we will compare our season to somebody else's season. And right now, around the world, it is summer somewhere, it is spring somewhere, it is winter somewhere, and it is fall somewhere right now. It's just a matter of where you're sitting in the world that you are experiencing that type of weather. And so depending upon where we are in our journey, where we are in our life, we literally cannot compare our season to somebody else's, because they're just sitting in a different seat. And so I love that. It should be inspiration. It should be like cheerleader type stuff.
Yes.
6 figures in 6 years. Go, girl. You finally got your Gabby. Go, it should be a celebration so that it's inspiration for us. So I love that. Thank you.
Yes.
I want to know from you, do you ever get moments? Because, we'll act like we have all the answers, right? But the idea is that it's not easy. Just what you said, in a couple of sentences don't mean it's easy.
Right.
So how do you deal with those rough spots in the road? Like, does your hubby ever feel like, where's my attention? Do you ever feel like you failing your kids? Do you ever feel like your business is not getting enough attention? Do you feel like you're not giving yourself enough attention? How do you deal with those? Do you have those moments, and then how do you deal with them?
Absolutely. All of the above. Okay. When it came to trying to make sure my kids, or even just the mom guilt of like, am I giving my children enough? That was one reason why I needed to go full time into the business, because splitting my time of a 9 to 5 and into a business wasn't going to work. So doing it full time would then be able to get some time back. One thing that my business coach taught me in the first beginning, before you learn about marketing, any of that stuff, she said, go to your Google Calendar and you're going to create calendars within a calendar. There is self-care time. There is family time. There is money-making time. There's building time. And so all of these different calendars I can set with different color codes to make sure that you have a well-rounded life. Because you can easily, especially entrepreneurship, starting off the ground, easily put in 96 hours a week and, at the computer, trying to do this, trying to go to every single networking thing as possible. You want to make sure that you're spreading it out. And there's some times where, like date night, we put date night on the calendar. There's even time now with virtual, pivoting from in-person to virtual events. my husband's like, yeah, you just squeezed in a whole bunch of more meetings in. What happened? I said, okay. So I put on the calendar, Adrian time. Okay. I don't block anything. Let me give him an hour on the weekend if I'm doing something.
So your husband's name's Adrian? Okay. Yes. So my husband's name is Greg, and that is very nice that you get to put Adrian time on you. My husband will put something very lewd and he'll say, give me your calendar, give me your to-do list. Since you live and die by this to-do list, and he'll write something that I could not really repeat up here, but that just means so I totally agree with you. That is so important. And I love that you said go to your calendar and set your seasons up. Y'all, this is as real and practical as it gets, right? Just literally making sure that you look at your time, analyze it so you can adjust. We cannot get where we want to be until we analyze where we are and then move some things around. So I love that. This goes by really fast.
I know.
The goal is to give folks a sneak peek so that whether they're watching live or on the replay, they have an opportunity to just get it all and come back next week. So we've gotten this. I love what Angel said, that she totally agrees about the seasons. Having it all isn't really a thing. Like, we don't all at once. You can have it all in a few areas at a time. I love that. I love that. So I'd love for you to share any last words that you have with us as it relates to quote unquote having it all. We have current and future mompreneurs in our community. There are folks who are, just honestly just trying to balance their 9 to 5s and their, and their families and church and all of the things that they do. So what would your advice be to them? And then please share where folks can find you.
Yes.
And what's happening with you that we might be able to be a part of after this live.
Yeah. So one thing I would definitely say is it's okay to start over the next day. We try, especially like the to-do list. We sit here and we're like, oh, I didn't get my to-do list done. Give yourself grace. It's okay. Start over tomorrow. It's a new day. It's just the same thing in the diet. They say, don't kill yourself. If you messed up on your healthy eating, just start over again tomorrow. Try again tomorrow, and that's okay. Just don't make it a habit, but we're going to have days where it just didn't go all right, and that's okay.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. And you guys can follow me on Instagram, The Melissa Jakes, Facebook, Melissa Jakes. You can find me there as well. On my website, melissajakes.com, and for event planning, rescueeventplanning.com. And we're definitely we're gearing up for our new season in our Mommypreneurs, because I love to highlight those who are mommies, who have the kids. I have an 8-month-old now. So running, trying to walk and crawl and still doing your business. We get it. So I love to connect with you guys. And if you're interested in being a part of our show and our podcast, you can definitely connect with us on melissajakes.com, and we'll get you there.
Oh, I'm so excited about all that you're doing. You all, those, especially women in our community who are, multitasking, wearing all of the hats, doing all of the things.
Yes.
Melissa is not only planning events for influencers, she is helping you manage it all and discover what timing and seasons looks like in your life. So please go to melissajakes.com and check her out on IG and all of the places she is. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. It has been an absolute delight. Time literally flies. When
I know.
Thank you so much. If you stay with me for just a moment, Melissa.
No worries.
Thank you all so much for being here with us. We are elated that you have joined us tonight, live or on the replay. We get, if you come back, Melissa, I'll share the YouTube link with you. You get folks that end up watching it a little later because of schedules and all. And so you all come back, make sure that you share this with someone else, and we make it just short enough so that next Thursday. You'll want to be here as well when we give you a sneak peek into a real conversation with real women. Don't forget to visit us in our virtual online sister circles monthly. We are going into the power of storytelling. Like, do you know the power of your story, and do you own it? That's what we're doing in April, Saturday, April 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern. It's free of charge. There is no fee for us to meet online. Please join us by finding us at, the website is down there, realwomenrock.org. Again, realwomenrock.org. Thank y'all again. And thank you, Melissa. Take care.
You're welcome.
All right.